There is a historic signal that's about to fire, and we have an immediate short-term time frame setup that can lead to the firing of that very signal. Let's go over the statistics because we could be facing a higher probability move to the upside. CPI is on its way, and the markets may be pricing in a beat. The situation here is, will the downside happen first? Welcome back to the channel on this Taco Tuesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into AMC. Let's kill them, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is ARCa. Let's go ahead and make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMC here on the 4-hour time frame because there is a present setup that can lead price action to a reaccumulation phase, which means upside, right? So what is that setup? I want to just go ahead and point out here that, yeah, you know what, it's a 4-hour time frame, not the greatest time frame to observe this in this upside signal, but it is an inverse head and shoulders, right? So we could be facing some higher probability moves to the upside. Let's go ahead and evaluate that potential upside target using the neckline here, right? So we can see that we have a contact point here, here, and here, and that would mark off the shoulder, head and shoulder for the inverse head and shoulders, right? Yes, some people don't believe to be this line in regression, right? But guess what? It could be, right? So now we're going to go ahead and take over the, take the price objective here or implied target by simply taking that trend line from the neckline all the way down to the lowest part of the head. And we're going to apply it here to where we can think that the center of the shoulder may be, right? So it may be right here, right? So that's looking like price action would take us to around that $5.67 valuation, right? So that's pretty damn powerful if it is going to be respected. I will say one more thing though. The upside signal here, it could be disguised as something else as well, right? So this is where the statistics play in, and I will give a massive, massive shout out to a star master student of mine, right? His name is Dea, and he has done a very, very, very interesting back test here using historical volatility and linear versus stochastic momentum. And I will say that this is actually his data set right here based on an iteration sample collection of the criteria that I'm about to mention, right? So daily time frame is going to be the back test here for volatility in linear versus stochastic momentum. We are looking for the firing of the signal via this. So, okay. We are observing here what's the 10% of critical volatility contraction, right? Remember, volatility is direction neutral. So we're using this to give us historical behavioral anomalies or behavioral repetitions or fractal situations, right? We want to see if there's any repetitive motion here when it comes into this contraction phase and it starts breaking above that 10% of critical contraction. As you can see here, we are expanding, but what direction, right? So what gives us that bias and direction would be the stochastic momentum indicator, right? So in this case, yeah, we're still expanding here. The signal would fire off as soon as we have the moving average and the volatility component, which is the little light bulbs, right? The histogram above and postured with an upside, it has to cater an upside posturing really, and beyond that 10 percentile, right? So as soon as it does fire off that signal, we would be set to make a pretty interesting move to the upside. And check it out. The upside is set because the daily time frame has that present upside. We are sitting the EMA 3 and the SMA 14 of the stochastic momentum indicator within the gravitational zone of the bearish control zone, right? It is in the gravitational zone, so it would essentially pull us into the bullish control zone overall, right? So now that we know the criteria, this is the entire backtest, right, throughout the entire trading history of AMC on the daily time frame, thanks to Dea. And I will give you this now. Now, 64 iterations were measured here over the entire trading history, right? And 47 of which have been guessed correctly to the upside, 17 incorrect. That gives us an upside accuracy of about 73.43%. That means that when that signal fires beyond the 10 percentile with an upside posturing on both the histogram and the moving average, we will be facing a 73.43% probability of getting an upside thrust, an average upside thrust of 11.63%. So that would be your typical move towards that upside, right? So let's go ahead and now kind of calculate that, because we may be able to figure where that signal could fire off, right? So let's take a look here, right? Let's just say that I'm giving you this news now because this is getting critically close to a potential breakout. And seeing the fact that we're also bouncing, inside, we're reclaiming the top side of this SMA 200. I will say that it's not the best when it's facing down, right? It means that there could be still a little bit of weakness here. And also the positioning or the posturing of that SMA 50 also isn't the best, but it's okay. That doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means that it creates a little bit of difficulty for it. But we do have some statistics here that when the firing of that signal happens, this could be happening here. The first move to the upside, very curious, right? Let's just say that we were to fire off the signal at around $5 and it would be a market open tomorrow, which may not be tomorrow, right? We may actually see the open on Thursday. I was thinking that we could do it on Tuesday or Wednesday, on Saturday, right? Or on Sunday, whatever that was. But it looks like it may be on either tomorrow or the next day. Higher probability next day. Okay, guys. So that first target, very curious here. Psychological take profit would be around the 567. The statistical target of 11.69 or 11.63% to the upside would lead us to 559. It's already rhyming with that top end target. Very curious. And it is telling us that it would be an over 73% probability. Guys, if you want to know how these back tests are done, just like my students here, they want to participate. They want to go ahead and throw in their 2 cents and give me the analysis here, just like I've done over the history, over the years that you've known me, right? Go ahead and make sure to get yourself signed up, because the seats are going to be taken here for the ArcMastersCourse. And I want you to reach out to me at this email here immediately so that I can get you enrolled, right? So that's going to be ArcMastersCourse@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get this beginner's crash course, right? It's going to be the mentorship program is going to be starting here in about 2 weeks. And I want you in there, right? I want you in there, a little under 2 weeks now. So make sure to get in touch with me there and let's get you informed right here. Make a difference in your trading portfolio. Right, guys? Okay. Next thing that we want to know here is, what if we beat the upside, right? What if this... what if we just go bigger than that? Well, we have further calculations here as well. Now, there is a standard deviation to this, right? So upon the firing of the signal, which we're speculating to be maybe around $5, there could be a standard deviation, meaning the price can deviate from the upside a total of 13.20% to that downside, right? So we're not going to worry about that deviation just yet, because so far price action is indicating continuation. Sure, we could come back and test your 487, even your 484. Again, it's okay, but I just want you guys to be completely aware that there is a standard deviation on this, because not every signal that fired off led straight to an upside. In fact, the red signals here are not even correctly guessed to the upside. So you can see that there's variance, right? So now there could be a continuation to the upside if we look at this percentage here. And I believe that would be the upper bound of the second standard deviation, which would lead us to about a 24.83% move to the upside. And that would lead to $6.24. Very curious here, because there are a few things here that are catching my interest at that 624, right? So I think it would be a very, very, very crucial thing for us to face this bottom side of support and this side of resistance right here, alongside with this resistance, right? And also the bottom side support here. And that would be meeting resistance on these candles right over here as well, right? Not to mention the fact that we are within a massive gap right over here, right? So that's already something else, right, guys? So yeah, that would be the targets that the statistical backtest would be taking us. Please remember that we're waiting for that signal to fire, and as soon as it does fire, the trading team will be aware of this, and you guys will be able to take advantage of this. Please remember, sign up for that ArcMasters course, and I will say, guys, that I want to take a look at the regular chart, right? Let's see if we can pull up AMC's regular chart to see if we have some type of continuation, right? We were already looking at a larger time frame, we were already looking at that inverse head and shoulders anyway, right? You guys remember this? We were thinking that we could get a total downside into that 479, 481 zone, right? We actually did not get that. If we have one more opportunity to do it, sure, that may be into tomorrow because of the CPI read, right? Who knows if that's actually going to encourage the price action to come down to its accumulation with, to distribute into that demand zone, which would be okay. Essentially, right? We could still make an inverse head and shoulders and still be able to bounce to the upside from these targets here, 479 to 481, which is already something that we were speculating on the prior chart. Now, yeah, you can see here that I have a slightly different target, $5.40, still leading things towards that upside. Okay, so yeah, guys, I think that the pullback here, if there's any, let's see, daily time frame. Well, let's go ahead and see if we have any other closures, right? So let's see the buy daily. It looks like the buy daily closed today, and that does have a probability of upside to its 50% retrace. And I would say that price action is already headed towards the buy daily gap right about here. And I would say that it's a higher probability of the 499 target, right? So I would say that resistance would land. I know it's going to put in all the other drawings right now. So 499, right? Or 498, right? Let's just do a 498. And, let's see what that other target could be. I would say 498 to about 499. That's a tiny little resistance there. So that would be it, right? It would be this gap here, and it would be the top end of this candle, and that would lead us towards a potential resistance, right? We got to break that and then have the price action to continue to the upside. So we're sitting right now at about a 22 cent, almost 23 cent average true range. So that means that this could make an upside move that could be pretty volatile, right? So that would be at least half of this target here, 540, if we end up firing the signals at around $5 tomorrow. But yeah, guys, let's keep an eye on this, right? Because the 50% of the prior pullback buy daily would be leading towards those targets that we just talked about. That would be your resistance range, 498 to 499. Please, guys, remember that we are going to have a private market prep tonight inside of the ARCa Bulls trading team. So please make sure to join. These are the 2 links that are eventually going to expire here. And these allow you to join the team here for a one-time fee, right? So let's go ahead and get you signed up in there as well, and everything will be cool. All right, let's go ahead and do the damn little thing here. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.